بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sunday class lesson number 33, Basic Religious Teaching, Sports and Exercise. Dear children, today we'll talk about a topic you will love. It is sports and exercise. Which child doesn't like to play and who doesn't enjoy exercise? Every child loves to play and exercise. Yes, of course, some children who are very lazy and silly might prefer just lying down, sleeping, and eating. But we don't see any lazy children among you. You all seem lovely, alert, and active. Today, we want to share something important. Strength, power, and good health are essential for every person. Imagine placing a strong and healthy child on one side and a weak and sickly child on the other side. Take a good look and tell us, who would you find better? The strong, healthy child or the weak one, sickly one? Naturally, if you are wise, you will say that a strong and healthy child looks much better. Now that you agree, we want to tell you what you need to do to stay strong and healthy. First and foremost, as long as you keep your body moving by walking, playing, and exercise, you will stay active and healthy and become stronger too. So, from today, make a firm decision that you will not avoid sport and exercise. However, remember that play should not be excessive. Rather, a set time should be designated for play and exercise. The beauty of every task is doing at the right time. Walk at work time, play at play time, exercise at exercise time, eat at meal time, sleep at bedtime, speak when time to talk, and stay silent when silence is needed. Meet friends when it is time for that. Stay home during home time, go to school during school hours, and visit relatives when it's the time to do so. This is a system that creates a well-ordered life. Dear children, today let's discuss the benefits of sports and exercise. If you play regularly, many of your illness will be treated naturally. In countries that are developed or developing, people improve their health through regular sport and exercise. If you too want to progress and climb the ladder of success, you need to make a time for sport and exercise along with your studies. Playing and exercising help ward off many illness, keeping you healthy, and they help strengthen your body to fight off germs and disease. Another thing to remember is that educated, serious individuals who reach great heights always took care of their health and maintain regular exercise along with sports. As a result, their personalities were such that people couldn't help but admire them. So play and exercise within limits. Today, we'll share with you the words of a well-known education expert, Professor Seerat. He said that only a healthy body can have a good mind, and only people with good minds can ensure progress for themselves, their country, and their community. To develop a good mind, a healthy body is essential, and for a healthy body, sport and exercise are necessary. Dear children, usually many people think that education has no connection with sport. But in reality, the relationship between education and sport is like that of parents and their children. Education provides good individuals to a nation, while sport and exercise give a nation a strong team. Dear children, you must have noticed, and you see it often, that various schools, colleges, and even some mosque institutions and organization organize competitions in art, sports, jokes, writing, speeches, and puzzles. You should participate in these competition because they build courage, confidence, and capability within you. Always remember that a strong personality doesn't develop on its own. To become a skilled, high spirited, and well known person, you should also take part in sport, exercise, and other competitions. Competitions make your body more agile, and participating in them develops courage, dedication, and determination. Sports and exercise are part of our culture. Nowadays, there are so many new and quality options available in the market for sports and exercise, which allows you to excel in different fields of physical activity. You can gain expertise in any sport field, though it is the best to select one area and work to master it. For instance, you can take part in sport like hockey, football, cricket, badminton, volleyball, basketball, running, and jumping. Now, inshallah, we'll start two verses. The first one, Inna Allah la yuhibbul kha'inin, the Surah Al-Anfal, verse number 58. Indeed, Allah does not love the deceitful. A noble person neither deceives others nor betrays anymore. And Allah does not favor a person who cheats on people's possessions or deceives others. Second was, Innahu la yuhibbul mustakbirin. He indeed does not love the disobedient. Allah loves obedient bondsmen and does not like the disobedient. Thus we should avoid disobedience. Now inshallah we'll explain two hadiths. لَيْسَ الْمُؤْمِنُ بِالَّذِي يَشْبَعُ وَجَارُهُ. The person is not a believer who fills his stomach while his neighbor remains hungry. Islam is a beautiful religion that commands its followers to worship Allah, the One, and to care for the hardships of their neighbors. Our Prophet Hadrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a person is not a true believer who takes care of his stomach and eats to his fill while his neighbor goes hungry. The second hadith is لا يدخل الجنة من لا يأمن جاره. The one whose neighbor is not safe from his mischief will not enter paradise. If our neighbors is pleased with our goodness, we are deserving of paradise. But if we disturb our neighbors with our bad behavior, harm, and oppression, and our neighbors are not safe from us, then we are not eligible to enter paradise. Now, inshallah, we'll start series of the Messenger of Mercy, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fostest mothers of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First, the mother of the Messenger of Mercy, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hadrat Amina, nursed him after 2 or 3 days. The slave girl of Abu Lahab, Suwaybia, nursed him as well as. Abu Lahab freed his slave girl upon the birth of his nephew. Hadrat Suwaybia raziyallahu ta'ala later accepted Islam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu maintained kindness toward her throughout her life until she passed away in the 7th year of Hijri. Beside his mother, the Prophet Muhammad was nursed by 7 women, among whom the honor of becoming a regular witness belonged to Hadrat Halima Sa'diya raziyallahu ta'ala anha, a pious woman from the Banu Sa'ad tribe, whose name itself holds the meaning of blessing. It was customary among the noble Arabs to send their children to wet nurses in the countryside so they could grow up healthy and strong. These nurses would take the children to their villages to raise them. The Prophet Muhammad came to live with Hadrat Halima Sa'diya radiallahu ta'ala anha, and with him blessing, joy, and prosperity arrived in the home of Hadrat Halima Sa'diya. While sorrow disappeared, Hadrat Halima Sa'diya would bring the Prophet Muhammad to visit his mother and relatives every 6 months. The Prophet stayed with her for 4 years. The household of Hazrat Halima Sadiya radiallahu ta'ala anha consisted of 6 members. Her husband Haris, her son Abdullah, her daughter Anisa, the Huzaifa, the Judama, also known as the Shima, and Hazrat Halima Sadiya radiallahu ta'ala anha. Shima would often play with the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu in her arms, assisting her mother in caring for him. Once Shima righted the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, who in his anger bit her shoulder, leaving a mark. This same incident became a means of mercy for Shima 50 years later. In the 9th year of Hijri, during a battle, Shima was captured by the Muslim. She told them, "I am the foster sister of your Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu." So she was presented with great respect in the presence of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu. By then, Shima was elderly and she reminded the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu of a childhood incident, showing him the bite mark on her shoulder. The Messenger of Mercy Muhammad Sallallahu spread his cloak for her to sit on with honor and respect. Tears filled his eyes and he said, "If you wish, you may stay with me as my sister." She embraced faith and expressed her desire to return to her people. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gifted her generously and sent her back to her family with love and respect. Allahu Akbar. Now shall we start the series of rights of people, rights of servants. The teaching of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also emphasized that we should treat servants and workers as fellow humans. Islam commands mercy even towards animals. Employees should be paid their designated wages on time and without any deduction. We should not take more work from servants and laborers than they can handle, and should also be mindful of their food, rest, and clothing. It is wrong to deprive workers and servants of their rights or to take advantage of their property and helplessness. Servants should not be insulted or beaten excessively. Rather, they should be treated with humility and as well as respect. Now, inshallah, we'll start life etiquette, some etiquettes of sermon. After ascending the pulpit, one should sit until the azan is completed. The imam should deliver the sermon while standing. 2 sermons should be given. The sermon should be given in a loud enough voice as necessary. The sermon should be kept brief. The sermon should begin with praise and glorification of Allah and Durood. After praise and blessing in the sermon, the Imam should say, Amma ba'd. The Quran should be recited during the sermon. One should sit silently between the 2 sermons. Attention should be directed towards the Imam. During the sermon, one should not sit with knees raised and hands clasped around them. One should not talk during the sermon or signal someone to stop speaking. The sermon should be listened to quietly. Unnecessary movements should be avoided, and one should not play with peoples, the carpets or mats. One should not perform sunnat or nafil prayer during the sermon. Now, inshallah, we'll start Shariat issues, real impurities. There are 2 types of real impurities, major impurities and minor impurities. Human urine and feces, animal feces, the urine of forbidden animals, flowing blood from humans and animals, alcohol, and the dropping of chickens and dogs are considered major impurities. The urine of permissible animals and the dropping of forbidden birds are considered minor impurities. If a major impurity has a solid from like feces up to the 3.5 mashas are exhausted. If it is in liquid form like alcohol or urine, it is sealed if it is spread to an area equal to an English coin about 1.25 inches in diameter. This means that if such an amount of impurity is on one's body or clothes, the prayer is valid but disliked. However, deliberately leaving this amount of impurity is not permissible. Minor impurity is excused if it covers less than 1/4 of the clothing or body part. Real impurities, whether major or minor, whether on clothes or body, can be purified by washing 3 times with water, and clothes should be wrung out each time. Liquids like vinegar or watermelon juice can also purify real impurities if used to wash. Now, inshallah, we'll start morning and evening supplications. Supplication before eating. Allahumma barik lana fima razaqtana warzuqna khayran minhu bismillahi wa ala barakatillah. Supplications during eating. Allahumma lakal hamdu wa lakal shukr. If forgetting to recite the supplication before eating, then read Bismillahi awwalahu wa akhirah. Supplication after eating. Alhamdulillahi alladhi at'amana wa saqana wa ja'alana minal muslimin. If someone offer food, then you should read Allahumma at'imman at'amani wasqiman saqani. Now inshallah we'll start question answer series. Our question, your answer. Does every child enjoy sport and exercise? Second one, do you prefer lazy and inactive children or energetic and active ones? Third one, which two things are extremely important for a person? The fourth one, are strong and healthy children better or weak or sickly? Fifth one, what should we do to stay active and healthy? Sixth one, does sport and exercise make a person healthy? Seventh one, write down the names of the few games and mention which one you like. Eighth one, is there any connection between education and sport? Ninth one, which education expert stated that a healthy body fosters a good mind? Tenth one, are sport and exercise part of our culture? 11th one, what is the meaning of Allahumma lakal hamdu wa lakal shukr? 12th one, who does not favor the rebellious? 13th one, state a hadith regarding neighbors. 14th one, why did Abu Lahab free his slave girl? 15th one, state 5 etiquettes of the sermon. Okay children, class is dismissed. I'll see you next Sunday. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.